What's going on, everybody? It's your girl V, the Notary. Hope you guys are doing well today. So, this is a special video for you guys because, like I said, in addition to the notary stuff, in addition to the real estate stuff that I talk about, and let me just say, I'm not going to stop talking about that stuff. I have a very specific expertise in procurement, small business enrichment, supporting small businesses, helping them to get government contracts, etc. I am an expert in that area. And so, a few days ago, I kind of came to you guys and said, hey, in addition to learning more about working for the government, for the federal government, the benefits, how to get a job with the federal government. Once I told you guys what I do, you guys overwhelmingly were like, oh my gosh, can you give us some advice, some mentoring, et cetera, with how to navigate the federal contracting landscape. Okay. And so, I mean, it was overwhelming. A lot of you guys, mentioned that you want to hear more about that. So I decided what I'm going to do is, in addition to talking to you guys about all things notary, I am not going to stop doing that. Real estate, my real estate journey. I am going to give you guys some advice and give you guys some counseling, however you guys want to look at it, on the best way to go about getting federal contracts, winning those contracts, you guys. This is going to be for small businesses, specifically, not just small businesses, large prime businesses, contractors as well. But because my expertise is in, small business contracting, I want to, be more specific in that area. Okay. So I just wanted to make sure you guys know that I am not, completely navigating away from the notary stuff. I'm still going to do that. So hang in there with me. I'm going to try to, kind of ping pong it between, talking about different things as it pertains to, the government, etc. And then, go back and forth as a notary, because honestly, if this is going to be my channel and y'all are going to get to know me, I think it's good for me to bring all of the professional facets of who I am, right? So with that being said, what I want to talk to you guys specifically about today is the two best ways for you to find multi-million-dollar contract opportunities. Okay, we're not talking about grants or anything. We are specifically talking about contracts. Now, this video, of course, we love our small businesses, support small business, because small businesses are the heart and soul of our economy. But this is also for large businesses too. You guys can get a lot out of that as well. Okay, so there are the two best ways for you to find federal contracting dollars. Okay, we're talking, high dollar values that are above the simplified acquisition threshold, which, if you don't know what that is in contracting above $250,000, as well as, opportunities to find the smaller contracts, micro purchase threshold. And I can, do another video where I kind of break down, the definition of some of this stuff, because if you're new to federal contracting or you're just getting into it, this may sound foreign to you. You may not, understand exactly what it is I'm talking about, but primarily this is for all acquisitions over the SAT, which is the simplified acquisition threshold, which is $250,000. Okay. So, a lot of people who get into federal contracting, they want, obviously you want the big contracts, right? You want to propose, submit quotes. You want to bid for the bigger contracts. And that is great. That's the goal. The goal is to be a larger prime contractor. For example, if you're in the 8A program, which we can talk about that later. And it's a great business development program that, I can kind of give you more information about how to get in that program if you are a small business now. But your goal should be to graduate into a more sophisticated small business. You know what I mean? There are mom and pop small businesses, and then there are small businesses that are more sophisticated that have, 50 people, etc. or more. So your goal should be to advance. Either way you look at it, there are two places you should be looking for multi-million-dollar contract opportunities, okay? The first place is if you are specifically a small business. A lot of large businesses have teams that do this, okay? But if you are a small business, at least on a weekly basis, you should be going to FedBizOps, which is now merged with SAM, okay? FedBizOps is the entry point where all federal agencies put their RFIs, which is our request for information, source to SOT notices, and contract opportunities. And we're talking about every federal agency, DHS, DOD, Department of Transportation, every agency over a certain dollar threshold, okay? They are putting their contract opportunities in FedBizOps, which now you can find at sam.gov, okay? sam.gov. You have to have an account, obviously, there. Go there, make sure that all your credentials are up to par so that you can register and you can look in here. Now, your NAICS code. Every company should have a NAICS code. And your NAICS code is what identifies the type of services that you provide. So, for instance, if you are IT, if you have IT services, what's an IT NAICS code? 541. I'm trying to think. I can't remember all of them offhand, but usually NAICS codes are anywhere from 5 to 6 numbers. You put your specific NAICS code. Let's say you do cybersecurity, and you can search in SAM and FedBizOps for all of the opportunities across the board, okay, for all federal agencies for procurement opportunities. You guys, you need to be looking at this database at least weekly, okay, because I would say daily, but that might, you might not have the resources to do that. If you have other contracts, if you have subcontracting work that you might be busy, you may not be able to look, but you should be scouring on SAM, on FedBizOps on a weekly basis to see what procurement opportunities are out there for your particular NAICS code for the services or the products that you provide, okay? Once you see a solicitation is just the actual contract opportunity. It tells the terms and conditions of the contract. It talks about, the dollar value, the place of performance. It gives all the information, when the contract is anticipated to be awarded. It gives, the statement of work, which is the statement of work is, or the performance work statement is what the agency provides to the public. And I know I'm spewing a lot of stuff, you guys. If there's anything that I'm talking about that you want me to delve deeper into, reach out to me, let me know. But the statement of work is in the solicitation, which basically says, this is what we're asking you to do. And then you determine when you look at that, can I perform these services? Can I provide these products or not? And then you determine if you want to propose to that. Proposing means you submit a proposal or a quote or bid, depending on what far apart, or what type of acquisition. And you're basically saying, this is what you're asking. This is what I can provide. And then, the government goes through the process of evaluating proposals, and then they pick a contract award winner who gets the contract. Okay. So like I said, that you should be looking at SAM on a weekly basis, searching your NAICS codes for the services that your company provides. You should know, I don't know that, what services you provide. You should be looking to see what opportunities are out there, okay? I can't tell you how many contracts, DOD specifically, DOD, which is the Department of Defense, they have contracts that are worth 300 million, billions of dollars. DHS, Department of Homeland Security, there's some contracts you'll see out there will be $1 million, $2 million, all the way up to billions. The amount is limitless. You need to be making sure that you're not missing out on those opportunities, okay? So make sure on a weekly basis you are looking through SAM at FedBizOps for opportunities that are out there, okay? So that's the first place you should be looking for these multi-million-dollar federal contract opportunities. The second place that you probably didn't think about is you should be looking at the acquisition forecast for every agency, okay? An acquisition forecast, now let me just say this. Every single federal agency is mandated to have an acquisition forecast. Acquisition forecast is a database, okay, that is open to the public. Anybody can go and look. For any agency at any time, you can go and look. And the forecast says, hey, for fiscal year 2024, because we're in fiscal year 2024 and calendar year 2024, this is what we intend to buy, right? This is what we intend to procure. You know what I'm saying? So, for example, Department of Transportation, I'll just use it. I don't work for them, but I'm just giving you an example. You go to Department of Transportation's acquisition forecast. Let's just say you are a graphic design company. You're going to look at their forecast and see what opportunities are coming down the pike that are graphic design related, okay? And I'll just tell you right now, every single agency buys IT services and products. Every single agency buys graphic design. Every single agency buys conference planning, stuff like that. Every agency buys stuff like that. Now, for example, there are specific agencies, in addition to like certain services that every agency buys. Department of Energy, for example, if you are an energy related company, right? You provide some type of energy related service, you're going to want to look at Department of Energy. You're going to want to like be very familiar with their acquisition forecast. And so again, I can't tell you what products or services you provide, only you know that. But depending on the type of products you provide, you might want to target that agency. If you have housing related services, you might want to look at, Department of HUD. You might want to look at HUD. What does HUD stand for? Housing and Urban Development. That's HUD. You know what I mean? If you are, if you anything for Department of Commerce, if you provide certain services that maybe the Census Bureau might need. I'm just throwing things out there, but you want to make sure that first you're looking at agencies that are applicable to the type of products or services you provide, and you want to be very familiar with their forecast. You want to look at that at least monthly, because every acquisition forecast is a living, breathing database. They're constantly adding, stuff. So you don't want to miss out on these things. But this is where you want to start if you want to get ahead of the game, because I tell you right now, I meet with so many small businesses yearly, and I give them, I assist them with, outreach at outreach events. I give them one-on-one counseling and things like that. They're not doing that. They're not doing these things that I'm telling you about. And these are the type of things that I tell them, look, this is where you need to start. If you want to make sure that you stay abreast of opportunities and you don't want to miss them, because a lot of times you're missing, contract opportunities just because you're not looking. You have to be adamant about staying up on researching contract opportunities, because you'll miss them that way. Okay. In addition to that, when you're looking at, Fed Biz Ops, when you're looking at the different acquisition forecasts, you want to, I'll say this. When you want to make sure if it's a set aside, and a set aside means that it's specifically for a small business. Okay. You can look at other, procurements, contract opportunities that are full and open, because just because it's full and open means open to anyone. Okay. Now, if it's a full and open procurement opportunity, that doesn't necessarily mean that a small business can't win the award, because it does happen all the time. But you want to specifically make sure you're paying close attention to set aside opportunities. And again, set aside, and each action on the Fed Biz Ops or on an acquisition forecast is going to tell you, okay, whether it's set aside, full and open. If it's sole source means that there's only one particular contractor, maybe they have specific licensing agreement or whatever. There's one contractor that can fulfill that requirement. If it's sole source, you probably don't want to pay attention to those so much, but you want to really make sure you're paying attention to the set aside opportunities, and you want to make sure that you're going after those. Okay. I think if you guys want me to, I can do a separate video where I break down the different socioeconomic categories within set asides, which include women-owned small businesses, 8A, service disabled veteran-owned small businesses. What am I missing? Hub zone small businesses. I can break those down and kind of talk to you about those as well. Again, I want to give you guys the information that you want to hear from me. I don't want to just ramble on if you don't care about it, okay? But I'm very passionate about this subject because I've been doing this for years, and I want to see small businesses win in any way that I can. So hopefully this video has helped you guys. Once again, like I said, those are the two places that you want to start if you want to find these multi-million-dollar contract opportunities for all federal agencies, okay? All right, you guys. So if you guys have any other questions, please drop down in the comments. Let me know. Don't forget to share this video because I'm sure you know a small business owner that could definitely benefit from this. And as always, like, subscribe, and share, you guys. And I'm going to be talking to y'all about some more notary stuff, so don't worry about it, okay? Don't be unsubscribing. I'm not going to just dedicate this video to government contracting. But I wanted to talk to you guys about this because a lot of people mentioned in my comments that they wanted to kind of hear about it, okay? So you guys have a great day. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.